Do you agree with the people that Kendrick won the battle?
1000%. Kendrick is a lyricist, and a lyricist that talks to your soul.
Chains and Whips is the name of the diss track that Clipse debuted at the Louis Vuitton fashion show. And TikTok is telling us that Kendrick Lamar is supposed to be on this song. Remember, back in August, Pusha T said they were missing just one feature. And then in December, Pusha T said the album was officially done.
30 million in total. I got still trying over. Got these rap that I gotta act like I like. Put my acting days are over. Man, what's up?
What is the real issue with you in marriage? So then now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's like, man, you know, your mom, she never remarried. You don't even know what like family is. So of course you don't dig marriage.
Pusha T just broke down exactly why Drake took an L in his beef with Kendrick Lamar. And basically, Pusha is saying Kendrick did what he himself started with the Story of Adidon, hitting Drake where it hurts and exposing his true character. According to Pusha, Kendrick didn't just go after Drake the rapper, he went for Aubrey the man, dissecting all his deepest insecurities. But it looks like Pusha and Kendrick are still not done, and the streets are saying they are about to join forces on the upcoming Clipse project. And while the details are still under wraps, the word is they might just bring that same energy to address their beef with Drake once again. Now, we don't know for sure if they're planning to go after Drake again, and honestly, it would be like beating a dead horse at this point, but insiders are saying that the track will definitely tackle the bigger issue of colonizers in the game who are watering down the true meaning of rap. So what exactly did Pusha T say about Drake losing to Kendrick? Can Drake ever reclaim his former glory after everything that's gone down? Let's break it down.
You can be clever, you can say cute things, you can do things in cadences and so on and so forth, right? But the truth really hurts.
An interview with Pusha T just resurfaced where he's doubling down on his take about why Drake lost his beef with Kendrick. And according to Pusha, this is because Drake didn't just throw out random insults or make clever lines that don't mean much. Instead, he spoke directly to Drake's soul. Pusha explained that Kendrick took the time to really study Drake's character, finding the deepest cracks in his persona and exposing them for the world to see. So it wasn't about hitting him with the best bars, it was about hitting him where it hurts the most. And according to Pusha, this is exactly why Drake is spiraling now and making all these unhinged moves like suing his own label over Kendrick's diss track.
Do you agree with the people that Kendrick won the battle?
1000%.
How did he do it? And then we'll get to your part, because he talked about you, but I want to let you speak on it in general first.
I think that Kendrick is a lyricist, and a lyricist that talks to your soul. Like, you can be clever, you can say cute things, you can do things in cadences and so on and so forth, right? But the truth really hurts. And the truth like cuts deep. And I think what Kendrick was doing was really talking to his soul. I believe that. And I believe that's, that would cause you to tap out. That'll cause you to sue. That'll cause you to do a lot of things. It's crazy. Listen, suing is crazy.
And it's interesting that Pusha said Kendrick won because he spoke to Drake's soul, because that's exactly what Pusha did too when he dropped the Story of Adidon back in 2018. Pusha went deep, dissecting Drake's character and peeling back layers to reveal the real Aubrey Graham. For instance, Pusha tapped into some of Drake's deepest insecurities about marriage and women, and he dug into Drake's family background to expose why Drake always seems to target wives and girlfriends of his rivals.
Why would you mention my fiance? Wow. Like, no women, no children. What's up? Like, what we doing? You know what I'm saying? But, I looked at it, I was just like, it made me sort of dive in to like, oh, wait a minute, who am I like really, really dealing with here? Like I say, I get up here, first thing you ask me about is the back and forth. So I'm like, yeah, man, it's competitive, blah, 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 cool. You mentioned my fiance, you put a name in a song, like, bro, she don't even listen to rap. Like, what are you talking about right now? What are we doing? When I heard, like, again, when I heard the Duppy freestyle, I was like, okay, you know, now I have to like really analyze who this person is. And I gotta analyze like, you know, just questions like, man, okay, why would you put her in it? My fiance.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what was like, the line was trash, right? It was a line about like, I'm gonna make it ring on you, like Virginia Williams. The line itself is trash.
Oh yeah, no.
And to me, I felt like, wait a minute, what is the real issue with you and marriage? So then now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's like, man, you know, your mom, she never remarried. Oh, you don't even know what like family is. So of course you don't dig marriage.
But it didn't stop there. Pusha also came at Drake's identity, accusing him of parading his dad Dennis as a clown to prove his own blackness.
This game for 16 years, certain things I'm not into. You know, it's like I don't like people speaking to my mother. I don't like people speaking to my father about music stuff. I don't like, you know, I gotta switch churches. You leave a CD on my mother's car, we gotta switch to church.
Wow.
I can't do this right now. Like, cause it's pressure that bothers me. You know, I look at him and I'm like, oh, like you parade your dad around in these weird suits. You parade him. It's clown-like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's what I get. I get clown feelings from that.
And then Pusha connected all this to his decision to use a photo of Drake in blackface as the cover art for the Story of Adidon, which, by the way, is a real photo Drake took. And according to Pusha, he wanted to dissect how Drake wears black culture like a costume and profits from it. And yet he never speaks on any real issues affecting the black community.
The photo that I used
Of the blackface.
of the blackface.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, it makes sense. You parade your dad around. This is done in 08. This was done in 08. You don't even know that that's not right? That you, like, there's no explanation for that to me. Like, you are silent in all black issues, Drake. You really are. You are really, really silent. I don't hear about anything. You don't stand for nothing. You don't say nothing about nothing. You don't. It's just what it is. Like, you have all the platform in the world. You were so passionate back then. No, you weren't. That's number one. That's what I know. Number two, you gotta think about who a person really, really is. And it's like, okay, bang. That's why it's okay. That's why it's okay for you to take a photo like this. You didn't even know it was right. You don't even know how fully, you don't know where you stand at. You don't know where you stand at. Oh, that's why you gotta, you know, you highlight your dad clowning like that. Oh, you know, you run to the Memphis. Oh, I'm Memphis, Houston. That's my black side. You never related. Stop playing.
And then, of course, there's the fact that Pusha T exposed Drake for hiding a son that he welcomed in secret with a former adult film star. This was all part of Pusha's bigger plan to reveal Drake's true character as a person. Instead of just attacking his writing skills or trying to out-rap him, Pusha wanted to show who Drake really was behind the facade.
But when we get into the even the part about the child, it's like, man, I'm just trying to get the listeners to understand. It's like, I think there's something wrong up here. You have a whole child. You know, you speak to me in your raps. You talking to me. You speak to me when you're multi-million. I feel like, okay, bang, you got multi-millions. You mean you got multi-millions and a whole child that's not like in arm's reach? Like my peers who have children, because I don't have children, and I want children. And I'm gonna have children.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what I'm saying is, my peers who, like, you know, in this, you know, they on the gram, they taking pictures, you know, put chains on their sons for their birthday, and, you know, Khaled, he walk around with his son, like it's like a thing. And I'm like, again, who is this? Like, you got a whole child that you suppressing. You're not even, you know, you got a whole child that nobody knows about. It's real. It's real. It ain't ghostwriting ain't alleged. The reference tracks ain't alleged. The baby ain't alleged. It's not alleged. It's real. That's it. And my point with that is just saying we can't even know about something that's like so precious. We can't even know about the kid, right? But we can know about it when you roll it out with your alleged new Adidas deal. You can roll out that information with a sweatsuit and some sneakers.
But it's honestly mind-boggling how Drake learned absolutely nothing from his beef with Pusha T. Instead of reflecting on all these things Pusha said about him, Drake kept doing what he always does, throwing sneak disses, being petty on Instagram, coming for people's wives and girlfriends, and making shady moves behind the scenes. It's like he was still trying to stir the pot with no real direction. And then when Kendrick finally steps in and does exactly what Pusha did and comes for Drake's character, exposing him and hitting him where it really hurts, now all of a sudden Drake wants to cry about it and file lawsuits? At this point, it really should be studied how someone at Drake's big age with all the success and experience can have almost no self-awareness. And this whole situation with Kendrick made it clear once again that Drake hasn't grown from any of this. It's almost like he's stuck in the same cycle of emotional immaturity. And you can tell by the way he's been moving lately. And I'm not just talking about that embarrassing lawsuit. Drake is back to his old Instagram antics, but instead of addressing Kendrick directly or even UMG, he's out here doing some seriously weird stuff. To give you just a few examples, Drake is using his Finsta account again, and he's been posting photos of Sophia Richie Grange, the daughter-in-law of UMG CEO Lucian Grange. Oh, and he also unfollowed everyone else and is now only following Sophia from this account. So Drake won't come for Lucian directly, or even Lucian's son and Sophia's husband Elliot, who's also a music executive, but he's coming for a woman who has absolutely nothing to do with this beef. And while we're on the subject of Drake's complete lack of self-awareness, it's crazy that in some of the photos he shared of Sophia, she looks super young. And knowing the allegations floating around about Drake and young women, it's crazy that he can't see how creepy this makes him look. But Drake didn't stop there. He went after another woman like Serena Williams, posting this photo of him and Serena's former agent and seemingly shading Serena for taking part in Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime performance. And yet not a single picture of Kendrick on Drake's Finsta. He keeps throwing these petty jabs at women, and yet he won't respond to Kendrick himself. Now, of course, Drake knows that he can't come back with another diss track, but then why not just put this all behind him and lay low for a while? Instead, this man is an almost 40-year-old man throwing shade on IG like he's stuck in high school. Clearly, Drake learned nothing from his beefs with Pusha and Kendrick, and honestly, it's just sad at this point. Now, speaking of Pusha and Kendrick, they have reportedly joined forces on a new track for the upcoming Clipse album. According to Hip Hop DX, Kendrick is featured on a song called Chains and Whips, and while we still don't know for sure what the song is about, some sources close to the situation have hinted that Pusha and Kendrick will definitely touch on their beef with Drake, but they apparently want to talk about the larger context and the issue of colonizers in rap and hip-hop. So after all that's gone down, it's clear that Drake got exposed on multiple levels, and it's honestly wild that he hasn't learned a single thing from this whole situation. Both Pusha T and Kendrick dissected his whole character, going beyond rap and attacking Drake's deepest insecurities, leaving him spiraling and posting weird stuff on IG instead of addressing the real issues. Well, what's your take on all this now that the beef is effectively over? Do you agree with Pusha that Kendrick won because he went for Drake's character? And do you think Drake can ever come back from this, learn from his mistakes, and actually grow? Or is there no hope for him at all at this point? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to check this next video.